G'day everyone. Welcome to our first Monday Night Live as Country Kickback. It's going to be exciting tonight. Tonight we've got Mickey Pye. He's going to join us for a quick chat, and I've got a few questions that people have messaged me, so I've got them ready to ask, and hopefully those that messaged me are listening or will watch the playback later on. Hi Cass, how you going? So tonight we've got Mickey Pye joining us. He has just finished playing his football, so he's been patiently waiting, and we might bring him into the room because it's going to be a bit of a short session today because I've got a really bad cold and you don't really want to see me sitting here for too long, otherwise it won't be very pretty. So we might bring Mickey into the room now. Hello, how are you?
Hey, I'm good, thanks. How are you?
I'm good. You've just finished playing footy.
That's right. I'm here in beautiful Bathurst, and it's the sun's just going down, and Bathurst's kind of it gets cold pretty quick here, so we're just sort of enjoying the last afternoons of summer. It's really nice here, so thanks for having me on today.
Oh, lovely. It's almost as cold as it does down here. Almost.
Yeah, you're right. We were actually down there last year with Travis Collins, and I come from a little town called Oberon, which is near Bathurst, and it felt very much like Oberon down there.
Oh, really? Wow. I did see your gig down here. It was great, actually. We need to get you down here more.
Yes,
not in winter.
Hopefully later in the year we're back. So.
Oh, are you? Oh, that would be fantastic. Just you, or you and Travis?
Well, I'm not sure. I mean, tour dates are still being locked in, but I know that he and all of us being the band enjoyed it so much that I think, getting down to Tassie is something that we're going to definitely be voting for. So
Right, because it was big crowds, actually. You had some good crowds at your Tassie gigs, which was fantastic.
Absolutely.
I've actually got some of the people have actually over the last couple of days messaged me a few questions for you that they wanted to know, and they're all fairly easy questions, so we're not going to put you on the spot too hard tonight. But right. As I just said to everyone, I might keep it a little bit short tonight because otherwise I'm going to end up probably losing my voice, and as much as a lot of people are probably happy about that, it won't work very well with a live. So I actually had somebody send me a message. They wanted to know how Star Maker changed you and your career. How that changed after you won Star Maker for you.
Well, for me, I'll tell you the full story. I actually I cut out the ad for Toyota Star Maker when I was about 9 years old, and it was just something I kept in my drawer, and I read about it, and it said, that you had to be 18. So I kept it there for all those years, knowing that when I was old enough, I would go in it, and I went in it for the first time in 2009, and I really thought I was ready. I was doing like 100 gigs a year, and I'd done just so much local work. So I went in it for the first time, and I didn't even make the grand final, and that's the year that Luke Austin won. And I really took that as a lesson, because I know a lot of people who don't kind of win competitions often think, it was just the judges, or it was this, or it was that. But for me, I sort of looked at Luke's career and thought, well, you know what? If he's playing with Troy Cassar-Daley and he's doing all these amazing things, I think that's a lesson that the rest of us need to get out and do some hard work. So I went out for the next 5 years and tried to get some runs on the board. So I started playing guitar for, I was with Travis Collins at the time, and then also Tanya Kernigan, Becky Cole, and I started to work things up to a point where I had a bit more credibility. So when it was my second run, which was 2015, I felt like I was much more ready. And so as soon as I came forth as the winner, things for me turned from being a guitarist to a recognised artist. So all of a sudden I was turning up to all these festivals as myself. And so for me, what changed things for me was just that I was recognised more for myself and playing my own songs, which is it can be difficult because I guess as a musician, sometimes people can categorize you and they don't realize that you do write your own songs and you do have your own goals. So for me, it was just about, I guess, getting a bit of credibility as myself.
Yes, absolutely. That's fantastic. Melanie Gray has just signed in and said, hi, Mickey, and hey, Danny. Hey, Melanie. So You cut that out when you were 9 years old. How long had you been playing guitar before that point?
Um, I I'd sort of been playing in pub bands just all through my teens, and I work with young people a lot, and I think that's one of the main things I try to encourage them to do is get out and play live. So, I grew up playing guitar around the campfire with my family. We were a horse riding family, so we used to just do a lot of playing guitar for fun. And so, yeah, then when I finished school, I went and did a degree, actually a music degree, where I studied guitar and did a kind of music theory course. And
Yes.
yeah, I mean, sorry,
No, you're right.
I thought you
I'm
cut in.
listening. No.
Yeah, so I mean, guitar for myself and my sister Clancy has just been just something that we do as entertainment. As we were never really ones for video games or anything like that. We'd rather learn a guitar lick. That was the same sort of enjoyment that we got out of doing that. So
Wow. That's fantastic. And is that why you started your music school?
yeah. Well, to tell you the story, I grew up in Oberon, as I mentioned, and it's a very small town, and up until I was 16 years old and went into Bathurst school, I'd never seen another kid that could play an instrument. So it was only my sisters and I that I even knew. And so I always thought to myself, it was such a limited opportunity in our town that if I ever got the chance to change that, I would. And so when I finished my music degree, I moved back out of Sydney and came back to Oberon, and I started Bathurst Academy of Music, which is my school, and I offered lessons in Oberon and tried to give kids an opportunity that I never had. And we sort of started with just a few students, and this year we've got over 300 music students and 100 dance students. So we're trying to, and I would say probably over the years we've probably put about 600 to 800 students through the academy who've come and gone, sort of thing. So it's a real passion of mine.
That is fantastic. Do you dance? Do you do the dance?
I actually grew up dancing, believe it or not. It's something I don't tell everybody, but when we started the dance side of the academy, I actually I did kick off doing some dance instructing myself, and I've got other people that work for me now. But I think with a lot of these, like all small businesses, you have to start yourself. You've got to be the one to kick it off. So believe it or not, I have taught dance.
Wow. You're very talented. I haven't seen that on stage yet. I've seen you a few times and I haven't seen you doing that. So next time you're in Tassie, we want to see you dance.
If anyone goes to the Gympie Muster, they actually get me up and do a bit of line dance there. So, yeah, for anyone that goes to Gympie, head on to the line dance tent.
Jump on and watch him. Actually, Gympie, I noticed they're up for an award that people can nominate them for. So they can have a look at the Gympie website and maybe they might find some footage somewhere of you dancing. They're lucky.
As long as it's not a video of 3 o'clock at Moonshiners at Tamworth, that could be a different level of dancing.
That's the level that you teach. Oh dear. That's a worry.
Good yeah, I'm sorry.
That's fantastic. That was one of the questions that I had was where you started the music college and things. So that was wonderful. And I guess the other thing is probably you sort of partly answered it because you started playing guitar around the campfire and that sort of thing. People wanted to know why you went down the country music path. I guess that's sort of coming from where you've grown up with and what you've sort of learnt as a young child.
Yeah, absolutely. Before I go on, I'll just warn you that my battery's getting down to about 2%. So if I cut out, you'll know.
That's all right. We don't need a long night tonight. It's our first night and it's getting late. Scott Field has actually just popped on and he said he first saw Mickey perform in Hervey Bay. That was last year, wasn't it, Scott? I was at that one. And he said that it was fantastic. And you brought up one of your students for that show, actually. I remember you had one of your students on stage with you.
That's right. There's a young girl who she was actually, her name's Isabel Fulton. She's now 15 years old, but she started playing bass guitar with me as a little 8-year-old kid. So she was one of the very first students, and now she's actually at the point where she's playing for artists. She's played a gig with Adam Harvey, and she's played with Travis Collins, and she's actually, being a 15-year-old, she's bound to do amazing things herself. And so I flew her up to Harvey Bay. It was just a day trip. So her family all stayed in Sydney, and she got to do her first fly-in gig. So she's been gigging pretty solidly for about 4 years, but that for her was pretty exciting. So Harvey Bay was great, actually, and I hope to get back there.
Yes, Harvey Bay was great, actually. It was a good show. There was a lot of good artists, and it was really good to see her on stage. She did really well. I think his battery has just died on us, so I think tonight we will cut it out there because I'm not well and poor Mickey's still walking home. But has anybody got any questions that they want to ask? Because what you can do is pop them up and we'll go back through later when Mickey's phone's working. And yes, I was at Bush to Bay. Nick and I both came up for that one. It was a really good show, and I hope we can get back there again soon. It was brilliant. Last year, when was that? Was it July or August maybe that we went to Bush to Bay? It might have been earlier than that. Can't remember. There was so many that we went to last year. So if anyone's got any gigs coming up this weekend, let us know. We'd love to see some photos. Pop them up on the website, on our Facebook. And if you have any questions or any artists that you'd like us to have a chat to, you can either message us through Messenger, or if you go into our About page, you'll be able to see our email and you can email them to us. Can't promise that we can talk to them, but we'll certainly have a go. I've got a lot of good artists lined up for the next few months, and hopefully we can do some of the ones that you'd like to hear from. Next week we've got the Viper Creek Band joining us, and they've got a new album coming out next week, so you can have a listen and pre-order that if you would like to. Anyway, guys, I'm going to keep going and get some rest. Pop your photos up over the week of all the live music that you're at, and send us a message if you want to get in touch. We'll see you later. Bye.